One morning in 2005, I awoke to a theme that was playing over and over in my head. It was the theme that God was trusting me and bringing me into something that was bigger than myself. And from that time forward, I could see inside of me and with the eyes of my heart that my life was as if on rails, going down the road of the journey that I was being prepared for. I didn't understand all of that, but I knew that I was doing the right thing, going the right direction, and I stayed true to it. Early on in my career, there were two stories in corporate America that did really wake me up. The first was a situation with a white colleague that was a personal friend of mine, and in a private conversation, he just happened to reveal how much he was making, and I realized that his salary was a few $1,000s more than mine. The troubling thing about it was that we were hired at the same time, we were promoted at the exact same time, and my responsibilities were a little greater in the department that I worked, and so that was shocking and very unsettling. The second story occurred as a result of feedback I received from my manager. It was a few years after this, and it had to do with the fact that my peers did not really feel comfortable with me and the presentations that I would make to sell my points of view concerning what should be done in the department. I was not doing anything inappropriate, and she made that clear in the feedback. It's just that it was a little unsettling that me as an African-American man was commanding the respect on the level that it was occurring. And obviously, my colleagues were not really comfortable with that. It says a lot. It's a very challenging situation, very challenging reality, but there is great opportunity even so in those environment and spaces. I realized that this was not just about me and some of the things that I was hearing and some of the things that I was seeing in society. It just brought that picture home to me that as a Black person, I could deal with the same realities. My story from the standpoint of the realities that African American and other minorities have to deal with, that it is the reality of the work that still needs to be done in a society that proclaims to be one that is for equality and justice for all. We have a responsibility, I believe, to not only understand that, but to be the answer to the problems because we are qualified to do so. What keeps me hopeful is the fact that history is a call to progression. It is something that the ball is always moving in terms of equality and justice. I think probably the best way to say it is in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King. He said, "The moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice." A good picture of this is that 2,000 years ago, nations used to go to war with other nations, and they would make everybody that they captured slaves for their benefit. You don't see that today. There's no nation that could rise up against another nation and make everybody slaves because the world would not allow it. 500 years ago, people were taken out of their country and exploited and sent all around the world to work as slaves for other nations. No nations would allow that to happen today, and no sovereign nation could declare slavery as a just system. That would not be acceptable today. 100 years ago, 7- and 8-year-old kids could actually be working in coal mines, and that was considered normal and common. Today, no one thinks that a 7- or 8-year-old should be working in any capacity. 50 years ago in America, a man could physically attack his wife, and even if she did report it, nothing would be done about it. But nobody thinks that's a good idea in these particular days, and there's great repercussions. And that's because the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice, and we are still a part of that legacy. As Black people, we need to understand it and do our part. If you like the content on this video, please subscribe and share it with others. We will be doing much more content on this particular book, on this YouTube channel, and through social media. Black Man, A Prophecy of Hope for the Times Ahead can be found virtually anywhere. Amazon.com, Barnes and Noble. You could find it at Reader House, bookshop.org. My website is gregldavis.com. I would love to hear from you. Thank you.